Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we are finally back with some more Transformers action. Anthony joining you once again, and we are currently covering the final Harmony event, or hopefully the final Harmony event. I can speak. I currently have two players audio in my ears right now, but we are the like I said, the final Harmony event, hopefully for BFB, and on this first match, we actually have a bit of a extra part to this feature. We are going to be seeing the two Wave 5 teams go up against each other, and I'm going to adjust the camera here slightly, just so that way I can get a better view on things. Zoom in a little bit so it's a little easier to see. And on one side, we have Frank4321, who is playing Guts Gilthor. And on the other, we have Legendary Void on Peck and his band of Sharkticon Revolutionaries. So, I have played both of these decks a little bit, and they are fairly interesting to say the least in terms of what they actually do. I definitely have more experience with Guts Gilthor, but Peck is definitely an interesting strategy as well. So while we're waiting for things to roll up here, let me go ahead and explain some of the things that are on the field that some people may not be familiar with. So Nancy is going in here first into Biter. So Nancy, for those of you who have not seen her, is a Junkion, one of these that was introduced in Phase 4, and the battle is currently underway. And it looks like Frank is running a blue shell for Guts. I figured that was going to be the call as soon as I saw this because of reasons. It looks like Legendary is running an orange shell, of course, so that makes sense. Also, Focus 1 was used on Nancy. I'll explain how she got that in a moment. So it's flat 2 going into 0, takes 2. So Nancy, in this mode, is a 2/9/2, 5 stars. Each character with a motorcycle mode has Focus 1, and she cannot use orange icons when they are flipped while attacking. That is her alt mode. Her station is... I will explain it eventually, but not right now. And then her bot mode heals when she leaves a station, which is going to be relevant later. 491 with Drifter, Leader Specialist in bot mode, Leader Vehicle, Motorcycle, and Melee in alt mode. And anybody in her station gets the motorcycle trait. In the meantime, we are going to go ahead and move over to Legendary's turn. A Take the Shot gets played. So there's that. So that was the card for turn, and I believe he's going to send Chomp in first, if I had to take a wild guess, just based on the way that his deck is configured. Flipping Gnaw. Putting an Improvised Shield under him, and I believe that is face down. I'm not sure if it matters, but I think the card gets put under him face down. I will check with Techno. Okay, so I am going to now have to go talk to Techno here. Question. Okay, I have officially gone and asked Techno. We will see what happens. Anyway, so wait. How did he play that Matrix? Hold on a second. How did that Matrix end up on Peck? You play to take the shot and it... Oh, wait. Were you going second? Oh, I forgot about that. Good call. Okay, so Yes, that is how it would work. That is how it works. Okay, so while this battle's going on, I'm going to take my headset off so I can explain what just happened. Peck has an ability in alt mode that when a Sharkticon or Alicon on your side takes attack damage, you may play a rolling action. Take the Shot was played off of that, and it untapped at the start of Legendary's turn. That's why this ability is so powerful. The Matrix was played for turn. I just got confused there. So that looks to be an attack of 4, 5, 6, 7, Pierce 2, going into Nancy, going into 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, actually, correction, that was only 6 Pierce 2, it looks like. Oh, wait a minute, hold on, we got stockpile. Was that swing for 7 or 8? Okay, I must have missed an orange, my bad. And, okay. So, I'm going to take my headset off here. So, the swing was for 8. I stand corrected. So, basically, what is going on here now? Stockpile is a 7-star 213-1 in alt mode, 113-0 in bot mode. Tank specialist in alt mode, specialist in bot mode. Alt mode ability. If you had only one character on your starting team with 4 or 5 stars and it would take attack damage, instead, Stockpile has the option to take half of that damage rounded up as attack damage, mind you, which is important, as I'll explain in a moment, and the other character takes the rest. So Nancy took 2, Stockpile took 2. Now, if you're wondering why I said earlier that I figured Chomp was going to go in first, it was because of this strat, Ignore the Pain. This has been in BFA for a while, so I'm not going to explain it too much, but basically, if Chomp would take attack damage and neither him or Ignore the Pain has damage counters, you may move the damage onto the strat, and if Chomp takes attack damage while the strat has damage counters, you move the damage onto Chomp, likely kills him unless it's some weird number. But when the card has damage counters on it and all characters untap, you flip it and the damage is just deleted from the game. Also, we see a Mecha Star come down onto Gilthor. This is the 1C open replacement for Fusion Bore. It was just a little too ubiquitous, so this was brought into the game to tone it down a little bit. And we see Stockpile going in after Chomp as... Actually, that's an interesting decision not to flip Stockpile to bot mode, but there is 2 ways to play with Stockpile, and I will explain why here in a moment. So Stockpile goes in, doesn't appear to do any damage. Also, you're probably wondering, why is there a counter up here with this strat? I will explain in a moment. In the meantime, Stockpile's bot mode. Once per turn, when this character takes attack damage and is not KO'd, you may move half that damage rounded down to the attacker. This thing's basically a souped-up version of Countdown, and it is funny as all hell. Anyways, we're going to see Peck flipped to bot mode. Everybody on Legendary side gets Bold 1, Tough 1, and I stand corrected. The damage should have gotten moved over to Ignore the Pain. In fact, I will jump in and ask how much damage is on there. How much damage did Chomp take from that attack, or did it get put on Ignore the Pain? It got blocked completely. Okay, just wondering. Okay, so the attack actually got blocked completely there. So, yeah. There's a rollout that got played. So, Gnaw flips to alt mode, draws a card. And he also has +1 health, actually, right now, thanks to the improvised shield. But he also has +2 health, thanks to Peck, since he gives all Quintesson Sharkticons with 4 stars +2 health. But you cannot include another Quintesson with a printed leader trait on it. And if you're wondering why it specifies a printed leader trait, that's because no Lords, No Masters, Peck's strat, gives all Sharkticons and Alacons the leader trait. So, yeah, you can play 3 Matrix down on the field at the same time. It is nutty. And then for Peck's bot mode, when one of your other Sharks or Gators takes attack damage, you may move up to 3 damage counters to or from Peck and the attacker in question. So, or one of your Sharks or Gators does attack damage, you may move 3 damage counters from Peck to the attacker, or from the attacker to Peck, but not enough to KO either of them. And now we see Biter going in here into Stockpile, it looks like, for 4, 5, 6, 7 Pierce 2. 7 Pierce 2 going into Stockpile's 3, so takes 4. And another counter will get put on that strat. There was also a Hold the Line there, so that healed 1 from Stockpile. And we are good to keep going here, going over to Frank's turn. Now, Stockpile, or this strat, Cherish This World or Perish. When Stockpile takes attack damage, or an enemy without Drifter gets Drifter, either through Hodgepodge Panoply or Spread Democracy, which one of those is an armor, one of those is a rolling action, you put a Thunder or Lightning counter on this card, and when there's at least 4 Lightning counters and Gilthor is on the battlefield, you have the option to combine into Thunder Guts Gilthor, which we'll see what that does, hopefully when the combination happens, and you'll see why, you'll see what happens when things, he shows up. So, secret action gets played, Gilthor gets flipped to bot mode. Now, this version of Gilthor is a new one, Wounded Retribution. He's a 7/16/3 in alt mode, 12 stars, tank truck ranged. Bot mode is range 16/2. A increased durability in the meanwhile gets placed onto Stockpile. And then Gilthor's alt mode, when you play an upgrade, he takes a damage, and once per turn, when one or more of your characters takes non-attack damage from an opponent's card, you choose an enemy and do damage to that enemy equal to the number of your characters that took, or number of any characters that took non-attack damage this turn. So, if, like, one character if a mag ray comes down, you could imagine how much damage is getting flung back. And then in bot mode, when you play an action, he takes a damage. And when an upgrade with a plus attack or plus defense and boost in its stat box is moved from Gilthor or leaves the battlefield, he gets that much attack or defense until end of turn. In the meanwhile, looks like a defense happened. Nope, an attack happened against Biter with Gilthor, and Biter is now just dead. So we move over to Legendary's turn. He will draw... And I'm going to put my headset back on now because I can probably talk. I'm going to lower the volumes a little bit more so that way I can talk a bit easier, just because I need to be listening to them and I need to be able to talk at the same time. Flipping Peck to bot mode. Everybody gets bold 1. So Gnaw and Peck will, or the large Peck will be able to do it. Scrapping the grenade launcher. Oh, wait, there was a grenade launcher there? Hold on. I'm not sure exactly what happened there. But there's a Muster the Will that came down. I'm assuming that was off of Peck's ability. Okay, there's a grenade launcher. I was wondering where the grenade launcher came in. Legendary mentioned that, but I couldn't figure it out. And then... Oh, Peck was flipped to alt mode, so there was a rollout that was played in there as well, it looks like. So Peck going in. 5 Pierce 3. Pierce 3. Oh, the Matrix. Duh. Dropping a take the shot for a Matrix. And then Gnaw into Stockpile. So it looks like he's trying to get Stockpile off the board. Up. You cannot combine with it on your opponent's turn. Okay, so Frank was just checking in on if you could combine into Thunder Guts on your opponent's turn. You cannot, because there's a clause there at the beginning of that part during the main phase of your turn. That is the key thing here. Take the shot is going to get scrapped for Gnaw. Okay, so this is probably going to KO Stockpile. He's got 4 health. Okay, so the attack is 8. 8 Pierce 1. Takes 6. And alive on 2 thanks to the increased durability. That is probably an easy kill for Peck. But Frank will still be able to combine because of the fact that Gilthor is still alive here. So that is a hidden fort that is coming down. Again, it really doesn't matter in this situation because the maximum amount of damage that Stockpile could contribute to Thunder Guts is already on the field. So I'm honestly surprised Legendary did not try to target Gilthor there, because that is probably the best way to stop this deck, is to just absolutely try and run over Gilthor. So Stockpile is dead. Pierce 2 was in play. Dropping a Power to Bite for Sharkticon Matrix. We'll see what, or I'll tell you what that card does if it comes up. There's already been a couple of cards from, or the other 2 cards from Phase 5 that have showed up in flips, but they haven't been actually used yet. Wait, hold on. Okay. Oh, he was talking about the one-shot threshold. I thought he was talking about the amount of health on Peck, and, nope, I just am mishearing things because you know why. Anyways, so we're going to go to an untap here, and we're probably going to see Thunder Guts combine with 14 damage, and yeah, this should be interesting to see where this goes from here. Hold on. Okay, Legendary beat me to answering this question about how this works. And now Frank is considering whether or not to combine here. If he doesn't combine, sending in Nancy here might actually be a decent move, but at the same time, if Nancy gets blown up, that whole strategy gets just completely wrecked. It looks like, definitely looks like, Frank is considering sending in Nancy here. There is definitely some deliberations here. Okay, so Frank was considering going into Baby Peck there, but he can't because Peck does have stealth while untapped. Okay, so there's still a lot of deliberation going on here, so I really haven't had anything to say. Okay, it looks like that Frank is not going to combine, likely sending Nancy in here. Wait, what? Hold on, I gotta... Oh my... Okay, so, that's a thing. Okay, hold on, I will let Bill know about that. Okay, so we just noticed something stupid here. Chomp's subname is Craving Carnivore, but on the strat it says Craven Carnivore. So, like, this is beta testing, so we're gonna allow it, but, like, we are actually seeing a combination of Thunder Guts, so we can talk about this. So he's an 832, 19-star combiner, vehicle, tank, truck range. Anyone in the station has the tank trait. He's a dual faction Junkion and Quintesson. And the station gives +2 attack, +1 defense, can only be occupied by a character of 8 stars or less in bot mode. And at the end of your turn while a character is in this station, you move 2 damage from either the character in this station or Gilthor to an enemy. And then the regular abilities are Pierce 4, and when this does an odd amount of attack damage, you do 1 damage to each enemy. And then when this is combined, you repair 10 damage from one of your other characters. So wait, why is he at 13? Hold on. How did Gilthor end up at 13? Okay, I was about to say, because he should not have been able to heal from his own ability since it specifies other characters. No, he has 13. Okay, so there was just a bit of confusion about how much health Stockpile has, and, it was, yeah, that was resolved. So, Frank is really thinking here. Sending Gilthor in. Whoa, with a leap and a Mecha Star. Into Gnaw? Hold up, why would he not go into Peck there? Hold on a second. Oh, nope, he is going into Peck. 14 going into... Wait, no, he is going into Gnaw. Never mind. 14 into 2 takes 12. Effect does not go off since an even amount of damage was dealt. Okay, so Frank is regretting not going into Peck, but that would have been an alive-on-1 situation. So, weirdly enough, I actually think he made the correct call, and this is why No Lords, No Masters is hilarious. Because now there are 3 matrices on the field. So there's a +3, Pierce 3 boost, team-wide. Oh, and a bracing up to boot. This is hilarious. You cannot look at this board and tell me that this isn't absolutely awesome. +3, Pierce 3 across the board. This is the kind of nonsense, since Peck technically is a Junkion, this is the kind of nonsense that Junkions can enable. It gets even weirder with pure Junkions, but since Peck is technically partially a Junkion, I'm going to argue it as such. Anyways, there's Hodgepodge Monopoly, and ironically, there's also the Spread Democracy, so there are the 2 ways you can give an enemy Drifter. So taking Pierce 4 off this attack from Chomp, because the power to bite was flipped, so that, yeah, that adds up to 4 Pierce 4. Draw for turn. Or that adds up to allow for the attack threshold to hit Pierce 4. Because, I mean, there are the +3 bonuses on the matrices, but then there's also the orange, and then I believe Peck is 3 attack. So that was a 7 Pierce 4 swing. And now that I've finished explaining everything, I can actually start to talk about the actual game a little better. Diffraction Sword onto Nancy, and Nancy will attack. Going into Chomp here. Going in for 4. Going in for 5. So going in for 7 here. So, yep, Nancy's going in for 7. I thought for a second that the orange icon was counted, but it was not. He has +2 of the station. 7 going into Chomp, takes 4. Yeah, he has 2 defense in bot mode, I believe. Yep, 2 defense in bot mode, 3. Yep, that adds up. So takes 4 damage. And at end of turn, the station will trigger and likely move 2 damage off Gilthor. That's not... It's the station ability, not the Gilthor ability. So, yeah, Annihilator Cannon at the end of the turn. Move 2 damage counters from your character in this station or from this vehicle to an enemy. Nope, it's to any character. Okay. So, Legendary thought it could go to, quote, the defender, but the attack is concluded, so that would not be a thing. How did Chomp end up with... Oh, wait a minute, I forgot. Ignore the pain. That 4 damage got put onto the strat. So anyways, I'm going to zoom out here a little bit. And Legendary will go ahead and draw for turn. Putting a grenade launcher on Peck. Swinging the mini Peck first after flipping him into Gilthor. $11 Pierce 3 from... Wait, how is that 11 Pierce 3? Hold on a second. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep, that's 11 Pierce 3. Good God. Up to 24 after blocking 3. And then Legendary's gonna send Peck, the big Peck in. Almost scrapped the bracing up by accident, but that is not what that card does. $14 Pierce 5 is the swing. Blocking 5, 6. And that is a KO of Thunder Guts. 11 minus 6 is... Wait. Hold on a second. 11 minus 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is 5. Wait. How much was that attack for again? Okay, I thought it was 11. My bad. Nope, the attack was 14. Yeah, that is a dead Thunder Guts. And Nancy now has to face the Sharkticon Horde alone. Sparring gear onto Nancy. Okay, so an explanation is currently just happening now about how Ignore the Pain works. So basically now, if Peck were to take any amount of attack damage, the damage on Ignore the Pain, which is 4 currently, would get moved back onto onto Chomp, not Peck. Going into Chomp with Nancy, currently for 5... 5... Yep, 5 flat. He did scrap, or Legendary scrapped the bracing up, so blocking 4, and then the 4 damage gets moved onto Chomp, so... Yeah. Unfortunately, he's not dead yet, and it's not an alive on 1 because of Big Peck's ability. But this is not looking good for Frank. Roll out to flip to alt mode. Wait, what? What is he doing? Why are you grabbing that grenade launcher? That is not how that card works. That ability activates when more than one character untaps. Okay, so Legendary did not know how Peck works. Oh. Okay, so Legendary was not aware of how that card worked. Whoops. Whoops. Okay, so we're just gonna move on from that. Okay, so sending in Peck here for 7 Pierce 3. 7 Pierce 5, excuse me. 9 Pierce 5. 9 blocking 1, 2, 3, 4. Takes 5. And then Chomp next for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 Pierce. And Nancy is now dead, and we will go ahead and get into the sideboarding period as Legendary takes a 1-0 lead. And while the sideboarding period is happening, of course, I will talk about the fact that these cards are still in beta, so if you want to continue to help test these cards as we push towards the first release candidate, and hopefully only release candidate, as well as the 1.0 release of BFB, which is now over a year in the making, we have the Discord link to the Bayformer server in the description, as well as the link to check out the BFB beta, where you can download the cards, print them off for yourself, test a few games, as well as find a feedback form to submit feedback if you're not on the Discord, albeit the feedback form is the primary way that feedback is collected, and I can assure you all of it is read. And also, I'm going to mention, if it seems like we're soliciting for feedback a lot, that's honestly because we kind of need it to run things. We don't want to be just, like, operating in an echo chamber of feedback, and, yeah, that is a problem if that is allowed to happen. If I can speak. Basically, in an echo chamber, only people who are thoroughly understood the cards in a specific manner get their opinion heard, and that causes some problems. And sometimes, of course, people can see cards differently and understand them differently, and that feedback is valuable, which is why we solicit it from everyone constantly. Again, we don't value an echo chamber of our own feedback, and we just don't want to, be constructing one here. We want to be getting the opinions of the players in the community. So now it looks like we are almost finishing up with sideboarding here. And now we wait. In the meantime, I am going to go browse the 30K subreddit. Okay, my laptop is not liking that right now, so I am just going to use my phone to browse Reddit. Looks like we're almost done with sideboarding. Frank's just figuring out the last couple of cards. Alrighty, it looks like we are just finishing up here. And it looks like Frank is going first for game 2. Currently waiting for something. Going into Biter first with Nancy. Going in for 2. Into 1. Takes 1. Oh my god, Biter actually defended something for once. Dropping a Hidden Fort for a processor on Frank's side of the field. Legendary is debating whether he plays something here or not. We did not. I have not heard back from Techno. So I am just going to try and message Bill here quick. Actually, I'm just going to copy the text over from Flipping Gnaw. Not putting a card underneath Gnaw, but playing Guilty or Innocent on Chomp. So Nancy's defense is going to be 0 when Chomp attacks. It's going to be for 6 Pierce 1 going in to, looks like 1, 2, 3. Okay. Just got confirmation from Bill the card is put face down under Gnaw. You just reveal it beforehand and then put it face down. Okay, so that answers that question. Dropping a Power Punch for a Matrix. So, is Frank gonna pick up that Hold the Line? Or that Diffraction Sword? So drawing for turn on Frank's side. Looks like he did not pick anything up. Hodgepodge Panoply coming down onto Stockpile, this is one of the cards that gives an enemy Drifter, so when this is on a defending Junkion with Drifter and you flip cards, the attacker gets Drifter until end of battle. So basically the attacker can't use orange icons. Really good against this team, or really any orange team. So going into Chomp here. Going in for 2 Pierce 1. Focusing to get rid of an orange. 2 Pierce 1. That is... So Chomp would take 1. Since this is a beta event and I'm just gonna jump in here, ignore the pain. It is optional, I am gonna say this, but just jumping in on that. So, ignore the pain, we'll get a damage counter. And then Matrix is going to go on to Peck, as he is the only, like, printed leader on this team. Everybody is technically a leader, of course, because of no Lords, no Masters, but Peck is the only printed one. And we see an untap of Chomp with new orders. Hold on a second. And then sending him back in to... Probably not Stockpile, because that could probably give him 2 counters. Going into Nancy, that makes sense, but Stockpile will probably get a counter here. Going in for 8 Pierce 2, it looks like. 8 Pierce 2 looks to be the swing. Yep, 8 Pierce 2. Blocking 3, so... Okay, so basically, 5 damage would get dealt to Nancy here. So, Stockpile takes 3, Nancy takes 2, and a counter gets put on, Cherish. That's what the card's called. Drawing for turn on Frank's side. Defensive configuration onto Gilthor. Top card is Secret Action. So, no extra armor onto Gilthor. Flipping him back for turn. So we're just getting some checking here of the different modes. Tripwire coming down. Hold on a second. So who's getting tripwired? So, who does he tap here? Gnaw's the draw engine. Biter's a pretty decent attacker. Going after Biter. Interesting. Also, it seems Eric is in the chat. I mean, you know what's been happening in my life the last week. going in for 7 into 0. That is a dead biter. And now we move over to Legendary's turn, and he is going to have a wheel turn here. Drawing for turn. Flip Peck to give bold 1 across the board. New orders to untap Chomp. Okay. This is going to hurt. And Legendary is eyeing up Gilthor now. I think he's realized that is probably the play here. So Power Punch goes on to Peck. Or the Big Peck, I should say. Swinging Baby Peck into Nancy. So, focusing with Nancy. Wait, he's going into Nancy? So going in for 8 into 4. Takes 2 on both of them. A counter gets placed on Cherish. That is a very unusual decision. I mean, it stops the heal when Thunder Guts gets off to the races, but I would be going after Gilthor here because that shuts the deck down completely. Because with Gilthor off the field, you can't combine, and therefore you can't heal. So this is negating one of those things, but it's not negating the thing that actually makes the deck tick. 12 going into Nancy. That is a dead Nancy, and Stockpile will not take any damage here as a result. Chomp going into Stockpile. Why is he not going into Gilthor? I am very confused. Oh, so Hodgepodge just went off. 5 Pierce 2 is the swing. 5 going into 1, 2, 3, 4. 5. Taking the Pierce 2, and the final counter gets placed, and now we have the option to combine here. Going into Stockpile. Four Pierce 2 is the swing. Taking the Pierce 2. Going up to 11. Alive on 2 is the total. Then we untap and move over to Frank's turn. So he has the option to combine here with 11 damage. He won't be able to heal since Thunder Guts cannot heal themselves. Flipping Stockpile to bot mode. So is Frank going to combine here? Because both characters do not have to be in the same mode to combine. Or both characters don't have to be in bot mode to combine. Okay, it looks like he is going to possibly use Stockpile to force an attack in to prevent the amount of damage going into Thunder Guts, which actually would not be that bad of a move. And oh, never mind, he is going to combine. And out comes Thunder Guts. And here we go with the Annihilator. Actually, no, the Annihilator Cannon is technically offline since Nancy is not on the field. And can't give out Drifter anymore, but hey, it's a +1 defense bonus. 11 damage on Thunder Guts. And there's an Energon Axe. Oh, boy. Some sharks are about to die. Alrighty, Frank is looking at Chomp here. Going into Chomp. So that is currently 11 Pierce 6. 11 Pierce 6. Going in for 12. What? How is he going in for 12? Hold on a second. Hold on. How is the attack 12? That's only a +3 and he has 8 attack. So 10 blocking 2, it looks like the block was for. So that does 8. That is that is enough to kill, but it is not the right amount of damage to fire off Gilthor's ability to just armed hovercraft the opponent. Peck will flip to alt mode. Get a Matrix, and this is going to be at least 6 Pierce 6 going in this turn. Oh, but there's a Guilty or Innocent. That will drop Gilthor's defense to 0 when Peck goes in, or the big Peck. So the little Peck will attack first. Is the secret action going to show up? And it looks like the secret will not get flipped up. Seven into 3 takes 4. 7 into 4 takes 3, excuse me. Because the hodgepodge is still there. And then dropping a pocket for something. I'm not sure what it was, though. Gnaw is next down the line. And going in for 7 Pierce 2. 7 Pierce 2. Seven blocking, 5 takes 2. And then Guilty or Innocent, the defense will go to 0. And there's a Turnabout Snare, which drops the attack by 2 points. 1 point, essentially. Wait, hold on. What's going on? Okay, so Turnabout Snare. So Peck is now a 3 attack character. No, wait, he's a 2-attack character, excuse me. He's a 2-attack character because... Yeah, I forgot how that card works. I forgot how Snare works. No, you do not, because it does, Guilty or Innocent does not specify base defense. Okay, so... Going in currently into 1, so that's 2, 3, Pierce 1. 3 Pierce 1. Takes the 3. We untap, and Gilthor is somehow alive after that. And, Peck will grab an orange card now. Uh-oh! There's a belligerence! Obscenities are flying at the sight of that. Draw for turn. There is a sparring gear to add on to the +1 from the hodgepodge. Or, excuse me, that was a 4 attack going in on that last Peck swing because of... Actually, no, it was 5 attack because of the matrices. But I think the damage was dealt correctly. Going into Gnaw here. Interesting. So currently going in for 11, Pierce 6. Drawing for turn on Legendary side. That is a dead Gnaw, by the way. And there's the belligerence. Flipping Peck to bot mode. And... looks like Peck is swinging in first. Eight Pierce 3 going in. Wait. Yeah, 8 Pierce 3. Taking 5 on Thunder Guts. Dropping a Mechastar for a Hold the Line. Dropping a Sharkticon Matrix for a Counter Espionage. And then Peck goes in. Can he get the 6? 8. 8 into 3. Cannot get it. 8 into 3. Takes 5. Say it with me now. Alive on 1. Free Gyrick Wen. So now, Frank is looking at, can Thunder Guts kill Big Peck here? Wait. Does Legendary just have game here? Yeah, I think Legendary just has game here because I don't think there's any way he can just kill Mini Peck, and no matter who he kills here, there's still going to be a Matrix on the board, unless Frank has utility removal. In that event, he may not be dead here. I'm disappointed that the Thunder Guts deck was not named Ride the Lightning. Funny you should mention that. We'll explain later. Tripwiring Mini Peck. Oh, wait, that just means that, that Peck, has to be attacked here. And it doesn't look like he has any utility removal, so,